Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The boundaries of the Masjid al-Haram. Another great argument made by Dan Gibson, which should be added to the list of great arguments that we have seen so far. What does this argument say? Let's go and find out.
The Quran commands every Muslim to face the forbidden gathering place when they pray. Now, the forbidden gathering place wasn't a building. It was much more than this. It was a large area marked out with special stones. These stones marked the boundary around the sacred area. No killing was allowed inside this area. Even birds were not killed. Now, what kind of stones would you need to mark out such an area? If you had just small round stones, they would be lost among the other stones of the desert. They must have been larger stones. And there should have been something special about them, so that you knew for certain that this was the boundary of the sacred area. Today, in Mecca, there are no special boundary stones. Historians have long wondered what these marker stones might have looked like, but they seem to have been lost in the years that have passed since then. Or perhaps they were never there. If Petra is the original holy city of Islam, then of course the special stones wouldn't be in Mecca. They would be in Petra.
Now there's a feature about Petra that's absolutely fascinating. Whenever tourists come to this city, they pass by a number of square-cut stones known as the Jinn rocks. This is a fanciful name given to them by the local Bedouin. What is interesting is that there are more than 20 of these large square stones marking all of the entrances of the city. Is it possible that these mark out the forbidden sanctuary? Perhaps that's why they're not located in Mecca.
Did you hear him say that today in Mecca there is no special boundary stone?
Today in Mecca, there are no special boundary stones.
It will be very strange if we could find the special boundary stones in Mecca, because that means that Dan Gibson doesn't respect his viewers. He is treating them like some morons who would eat up any lie that he peddles. The question is, do we have special boundary stones today? Let's go and check. The word used for the special boundary stone is Ansab al-Haram. Ansab al-Haram. Let's go and Google this and let's see what we get. We get these pictures of some of those special boundary stone which mark the beginning of the sacred area. For example, let's go to this article, and here you have several pictures of these stones. Some of them have been reconstructed, some of them remain unchanged. And in this article it says that there are 1,104 of these special stones around the sacred area. So how can this guy say with a straight face that there is no special stone boundary? Let me try and guess what kind of a comeback Dan Gibson will do. Well, he could say, for example, that these special stones are modern in the sense that they have been placed very recently to cover up for the change of Qibla. So let's go to some of the earliest sources of Islam and let's see if they were talking about these special boundary stones. In this book, Al-Mudawwana al-Kubra, Imam Malik is quoted in page 452 saying that Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second caliph of Islam, was the one who found all the special boundary stones, which means during the time of Imam Malik there was a special boundary stone because he was talking about them. And by the way, as we said in the previous video, Imam Malik was born in 711 AD. So when he says that there were special boundary stones in Mecca, it means he saw them. Let's remember, when was the Qibla change according to Dan Gibson?
Had divided into two. Originally, the Umayyads ruled from Damascus, and they prayed towards Petra. But they were defeated in battle, and now the eastern part of the empire was ruled by the Abbasids. who all constructed their mosques facing towards Mecca. It was during this exact time that we see a change in mosque construction. Before this, every new mosque constructed faced Petra. But now, for the first time, some of the new mosques began to face Mecca in Saudi Arabia.
So, according to Dan, the Qibla change took place in the year 750, when the Abbasids defeated the Umayyads. So, if the Abbasids were the one who placed these boundary stones, Imam Malik wouldn't dare to say that these boundary stones were found by Umar ibn al-Khattab, who lived many decades before the Abbasids. And why wouldn't he dare to say that? Because there are many people around him who saw the Abbasids when they allegedly placed these stones. If the Abbasids tried to cover up during the life of Imam Malik, then it will be very naive of Imam Malik to try to deceive all those many people who witnessed the Abbasids placing the boundary stones. So let's go through it again. The boundary stones exist today. The boundary stones existed during the time of Imam Malik in 711. According to Dan Gibson's theory, it was the Abbasids who tried to hide the truth about the sacred city. So the only people who had advantages in placing these boundary stones in the fake Mecca were the Abbasids. And we can conclude from this account of Imam Malik that when he was living, the boundary stones already existed, and it would be absolutely insane for anyone to lie to thousands of eyewitnesses, which makes us left with one conclusion. And it's the same conclusion that we get after each video, that this theory of Dan Gibson is the most ridiculous, incoherent theory. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.